Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obed and today I came to you with the new classes for the beginner series of the apparel computer aided design. So in the previous class we have learned about the jacket standards drafting and its final pattern development. In this class we will learn about some important measurements of the sleeve and standards development, and then its final pattern tracing and development. So let's start. First of all, you have to see the measurements. You can see these are the sleeve measurements. So these are the very important measurements if you want to draft blazer types of sleeves. It's a very complicated designs. If you can design these sleeves and further sleeves, you can design easily. So sleeve measurements are mentioned over here. You can see, you can pause the video and you can observe all the measurements carefully, and after that you have to practice on it and then you can start the design. So let's start the design. First of all, you have to go to the pattern design software and then you have to come to use create menu, and you have to select the rectangle tool and left click over the work area, and then you can open the value. Now you have to put over here length of the sleeve. This is the, you can see in the measurement charts all the measurements are mentioned over here. 58 centimeter is the length and the width is 18.6 centimeter. So for that you have to go to this x-axis and you have to mention here 58 is the length and then 18.6 is the width of this sleeve. You give the name as a sleeve and hit the enter button. And now OK. Now you can see that the outline of the sleeve patterns has been drafted. Now we have to draw elbow line. For that you have to go to the offset menu, left click, right click, and then OK. Again left click. Then you have to put the distance for the elbow line. You have to go to the calculator. 58 is the full length divided by 2. Apply and then plus 2 and then apply and then OK. Now you have to enter the minus value and hit the enter button. This is your elbow line. Now you have to draw the Armseye bottom tip line. For that you have to go to the offset menu, left click, right click, and then OK. Again left click, and you have to enter the distance 12.4 minus 12.4 and hit the enter button. Now you can see that this is the Armseye position line has been drafted. Now you have to go to the 2 point and left click, drag and go to the end point, right click, and then enter the 50% and then hit the enter button, and you open the cursor value and you can draw like this. Now we have to go to the, so now we have to draft the, to come to the menu, and you can see that AM is the length is 2/3 of AE is equal to 12.4 centimeter. For that you have to go to that, you select the 2 point and then you have to enter the 12.4 and hit the enter button. And now you go right click and go to the horizontal, and then you have to go to the value and you have to enter over here mm1 length. So you can see here mm1 is equal to 6.2 centimeter, and you have to enter the distance of 6.2 centimeter. So you have to enter here the distance of minus 6.2 centimeter, minus 6.2 centimeter. Now MM1 has been drafted. Now you have to go to the chart menu, and you can see here in the measurement chart, so we have to draft the AI. So you can see in that menu what is the distance between AI. AI is equal to 1/4 of AE. So you have to go to the menu and you have to 1/4, you have to go to the calculator. 18.6 divided by 4, apply, and then OK. And then OK. Now you can see that right click and then OK. Now this point is the AI. Now you have to go to the view menu and zoom in, and you have to zoom in this point, and you have to go modify split, and then you have to split this at this position. Right click and then OK. Now you have to go to the create menu, 2 point, and then left click over there and come to your measurement, and you have to take L1 is equal to 3.65 centimeter. You come here and you have to enter the distance of L1 is equal to 3.65 centimeter. So you have to enter the distance of 3.65 centimeter and hit the enter button. Now you have to go to the right click and then you go to the horizontal, go to the value, and you have to enter the 1 and hit the enter button. Right click and then OK. Now similarly you have to come to the offset menu and left click, right click and then OK. Now you have to enter the distance of -2 and hit the enter button. Right click and then OK. Now you have to go to the modify menu and point line, and you have to select this, and you have to enter the distance of -2 and hit the enter button and then OK. Similarly, what we have to do, we have to go to the view menu and zoom in this position, go to the modify split, and you have to split over here. Right click and then OK. Then you go to the split and OK. Now you go to the create 2 point and left click, and then you have to enter 1.5 and hit the enter button, and now you can right click and then OK. Now now we have to go to the modify and point line, and this line we have to select, and we have to reduce this up to this point and then OK. Now again you have to go to the create menu, offset, you have to select this line, right click and then OK, and then you have to put the value -4 and hit the enter button, right click and then OK. Now we have to draw the Armseye curve. For that you have to go to the 2-point curve, and then you have to activate the cursor value, and then over here like this you can fix the position. Again you have to go to the 2-point curve, and from this position, and you have to come to this position, and then we have to draft the back Armseye cap of the sleeve. Right click and then OK. Now you have to go to the modify curve, and then you have to select this, right click and then OK. Now you have to right click and then OK. Again you have to go to the smooth, click right click and then OK, and you have to reposition, and we have to smooth it, right click and then OK. Now we have to draft the very important points. You have to go to the 2-point curve, and from there you have to cancel it. You go to the 2-point curve, and then you have to draft. You have to add the distance of 13, which is the sleeve cuff opening, 13 centimeter, and then OK. Cancel it. Again you have to go to the 2-point curve, zoom it, come to this point, right click, you come to this point and 13, hit the enter button. I'll activate the cursor value, and then you have to come to this line and you have to enter the 1.5 centimeter distance and hit the enter button. Now you have to give the proper shape like this. Now you come to the again 2-point curve, and you have to select this, and then 2-point, and then you have to right click and enter the 1 centimeter, hit the enter button, right click and then OK. Now again you go to 2-point curve, come to this point, and again you have to come to this point and give the proper shape like this, right click and then OK. Now you go to the again 2-point curve, and then we have to match at this point, and we have to draw a proper curve, right click and then OK. Again you have to go to point curve, and you have to come to this point, and you have to come to this point. Now you have to draw like this another one curve. Now most probably your sleeve patterns has been drafted. Now we have to create a notch. You have to come to this line, and then you have to enter the distance of 7 mm and hit the enter button, right click and then OK. Now you have to go to the view menu, zoom in, and you have to go to the modify split and left click and then OK. Now what we have to do, we have to go to the create menu and copy, and then you have to activate the value, and you have to enter the distance of 4 centimeter and hit the enter button. Now again you have to select this line, right click and then OK. Copy. You go to the copy menu and left click, right click and then OK. Select the line and then enter the distance of 4 cm and hit the enter button. Now you go to the modify menu and point line and select this, and you have to increase it to there. Similarly you have to select this line and increase up to here. Now you have to select this line and you have to increase it up to here. Similarly this line, and we have to increase it up to here. You go to the create menu, copy, and you have to copy this line and then value and enter the distance of 4 and hit the enter button. Right click and then OK. Now again you go to the modify and point line and select this line, and you have to cursor active and select this line, and like this you have to increase and join. Right click and then OK. Now you go to the 2 point, select this line, right click and then OK. You go to the modify and clip, and like this you can clip unwanted line, and then you have to go to modify point line. You can join it. Similarly this extra line you have to march and then OK. Now you can see that finally your sleeve pattern has been completely drafted. Now we have to eliminate the final pattern, bottom and the top sleeve patterns. So for that purpose we have to go to the create menu and trace and left click, and we have to select the bottom sleeve pattern, right click and then OK. Now you can see that this is your bottom sleeve cap. So you have to bottom, BOTTOM, bottom SLV sleeve, and then OK. Now we have to go to the advanced menu and we have to apply the seam allowances in this pattern. For that you have to select this, enter the distance of 2 cm, and you have to select this line and you have to enter 1.5 and hit the enter button. Similarly this one, enter the distance of 2 cm and hit enter button, right click and then OK. Now you can see that the allowances has been applied into the patterns. Now you can give you go to the, if you want put the information or name of this pattern, go to this is the bottom sleeve. Bottom sleeve 2 and hit the enter button, right click and then OK. Now we have to draft the top pattern of the sleeve. So you have to go to your standards, create and trace, select the outline of the top sleeve in a clockwise direction. Cancel it. First of all we have to insert this is the, at this place we have to put a notch to the center shoulder notch, shoulder point notch, and then we have to go to the create and trace, and we have to select the outer pattern of the top sleeve in a clockwise direction. And then we have to see that this is the top sleeve pattern has been drafted. You give the name top SLV and then OK. Now you have to go to the create annotations and you have to give the name top sleeve and then hit the enter button. Okay. Now you can see we have to apply the seam allowances to this pattern. We have to go to the advanced define and we have to select this and enter the 2 centimeter and hit the enter button. Similarly this one 1.5 and hit the enter button, and 2 and hit the enter button. Right click and then OK. Now you can see that the seam allowances has also been applied into the pattern. Right click. Now you can see that your sleeve pattern has been completely designed for the blazer cuff opening sleeve. So I hope that this class will be helpful for you. Thank you for this class. In the previous class I have already explained you about the front to back collar pocket final patterns development. In this class I have explained you about the sleeve pattern drafting and final pattern development. Thanks.